How do I get the credits? Menu? Credits! Right, there we go. So I think that's the end. There we go. I'm not sure what that game was. Assassin's Creed Origins. It's telling you the origin of the assassins, which, considering the assassins appeared as a kind of sect, I think around the time of the Crusades, like maybe a little bit before, maybe. Well, no, it must have been before. But kind of certainly around then. I would have thought that, that would have been the origin. But alright, because we want to push it back a little bit further. It doesn't really... There was none of the nothing is true, everything was permitted. That didn't show up at any point as a kind of philosophical idea. And that's kind of a central part of the creed. It didn't explain eagle vision. He just had an eagle. And those kind of things shouldn't be hidden behind side quests. They should be very much in the main quest. It was just kind of, here is a kind of normal Assassin's Creed story set in Ptolemaic Egypt. And there's nothing, I'm not complaining about that. I'm just, if you're going to go Assassin's Creed Origins, this should be, first of all, the earliest story you do in your time travel. And I'm aware that Assassin's Creed Odyssey is like 300 BC, so through about 250 years before this. It should also give you an idea of some of the kind of the key things that have been recurring. Where do they come from? Where does the eagle vision come from? They use the eagle feather kind of to wipe the blood as a little ritual thing, but that starts quite clearly in Assassin's Creed 2. You don't need to show the origin of that. You already have. As kind of the origins, I don't think it kind of worked. There were still a lot of questions, and that it doesn't answer. I think the sea missions didn't make sense. Most of the previous games where we've had those kind of missions, it's been, you need to stop this ship from doing something. You need to destroy the ship. Whereas in this one, it was normally kind of like I did in this session. I just kind of, I don't care. We want to get to Rome, so let's go to Rome. Oh, I can't go to Rome. I have to fight. It's like, why? These other ships are kind of dealing with those ships and distracting them while I go to Rome. That's why am I bothered with these other ships? We should just all be going to Rome. The narrative objective and the gameplay objective are kind of diametrically opposed there. Do you stay and fight? Do you run and get to go somewhere? Do you leave or do you stay? And I don't think that worked. And I think that's kind of... I don't think that's always worked with Assassin's Creed anyway, to be fair. But it was just kind of something very noticeable for me. I'm not sure I think certainly to begin with, I was in the kind of mode of, hey, do the main quest. If you think the side quest is going to be interesting, do a side quest or two. Or do some of these side quests. Whereas in this one, it is very much, you will have to do some of the side quests. The main quests alone, or even if you do a little bit of exploring to go with it, will not be enough to get you the experience you need. And I think when I came back from the break, I had more of a kind of, okay, let's do a couple of side quests, do a few little bits of pieces here, and level up, because I'm absolutely not in the right shape. And I don't think I like that. I think I prefer it. I think I preferred the old system of the side quests give you rewards and give you extra. Maybe they give you extra money so you can buy more stuff. Maybe they give you extra resources for crafting. Like, I did quite like the crafting idea of you can do more damage with your melee attacks, more damage with your ranged attacks. You can hold more kind of tools. You get more health, and this is how you do it, by kind of crafting these things. So you want to spend money on getting better equipment and special effects. I can see as a good thing. The crafting and buying crafting materials, I think, is a good thing. But I think the kind of level system, I wasn't a huge fan of. And I think that it's kind of they've continued using it for the next few. So we'll see how I feel about those when we get to them. But I think it is kind of... It's a very different game, mechanically, than the other games, where it is just, you can just play through the main quest, and that's all you need. Whereas it feels like they've gone, okay, we're going to do an even bigger open world, so that means we have to fill it with stuff, and we have to require people to do it. So we're going to not give as much experience for the main quest to allow you to just go through step by step through the main quest. I think that the story... I've kind of already touched on it with the Origins stuff. The story... You want to kind of take out the Order because he wants to find the people who killed it. He wants to kill the people who killed his son, and so he's going through all the people in the Order, and he finds out about new people, and he gets brought into dealing with helping Cleopatra because of Aya. I think it does have the kind of the thing I like, which is it's kind of the enemies and your allies are the same people. So you've got Romans on both sides, you have Egyptians on both sides, because otherwise it becomes more of a kind of, these guys are bad guys, these guys are good guys, and then you're saying this nation is the good guys, this nation is the bad guys. So that is the kind of story I like, where it's more either a personal thing, or the Templars and Assassins go across the nations who are otherwise at conflict. Yes. My brain is wandering from topic to topic. I don't know. I don't know about the kind of pseudo role-playing stuff of getting random bits of equipment, and although I like being able to boost your equipment and you get pieces you really like, it at times I think it's the experience. I don't think it works as well because I think it's just because certain areas in real life they're not going to have been like that, and so you have that problem where you've got to kind of separate these areas off. And I could see having like the forts be a higher level than the surrounding countryside, because they're going to have better troops in the fort, maybe better equipped. They're going to have various defenses, possibly, but I don't think it works kind of divvying up certain areas unless you're doing something that's in a war zone and this is the most kind of harshly fought over area in comparison to that area. Maybe. I'm not sure how well that works. Maybe they'll impress me when I come back to another Assassin's Creed game. But yes, we'll have to see what Patreon says about that. The modern day story, I think I did say just kind of either put effort into it or don't bother with it. This kind of the kind of thing here of, I think we came out twice where we did something, and then there was this third time this time. Why bother? I mean, there's no story elements to there. I think the only story element we had was William Miles inviting her to join the Assassins and support them. And I don't think that actually is meaningful, because I don't know this person. I don't care which side she's on, because I don't know anything about her. And I think it would have been better to have spent more time with her. Maybe, you could have, because here's the thing, you could have followed on from, instead of doing the, we're hacking into the games consoles thing of, I think, Unity and Syndicate, you could have had a character like, was it Layla? You could have had her character be one of the, or be the person who, be another person who works on the console, like we played in 4 and then Rogue. I think you could have done something there, and then that slowly develops. You get to know her as a character. She's unsure. She learns various things about the kind of story and about the world, the Templars and the Assassins, and then she runs away at the end of, what was the last one, Syndicate, and that leads you to Origins, where she's kind of a bit unsure about what's going on, and then you have a couple of times where these guys are attacking her, and then that leads to William Miles at the end here saying, I want you to work for us because we don't trust Abstergo and the Templars. And then that would lead you into the next one, Odyssey, where, now we know this character. We're really happy she's actually joined the Assassins. It's not that just she's left Abstergo and the Templars. She's now working for the Assassins. That leads you into kind of some element of the plot of Odyssey. Maybe you could just copy Assassin's Creed 2. It'll be good for you to learn more about the Assassins and how to fight, but we can pick that up. You can learn that by following these guys. They're in a war, so they'll be involved, because I think it's in the Peloponnesian War, and that will have an impact there. Whereas this one of just it's kind of just token, here's a couple of scenes for a modern plot to pretend that we still care. If you just want to drop that and go, here is an Assassin's Creed style game, and it's set in whatever period, kind of Egypt, Ptolemaic Egypt, and the stuff we're going to do with that is we're going to reference back to stuff, and we're going to kind of open some hooks up for kind of games that happen that are set kind of after this. I think that could work better, and I think it would. It's the kind of halfway, we're not going to bother doing anything narratively, and we're not going to follow on from what happened in the last game and the modern plot, and we're not going to bother, or it's like, I think doesn't really work. Just scrap it or develop it, one of the two. And I'm going to guess that they just stay on this kind of middle path of not really either, and I don't think that works. So yeah, the modern plot is a bit rubbish. I didn't really like much of the mechanisms and the RPG kind of stuff, but I did like Bayek. I would have liked to have seen Bayek and I get together, but I am a bit of a hopeless romantic when it comes to stuff like that. So I was a bit downer. But yes, but it does intrigue me that you've done Origins and then the next game is set a couple of centuries earlier. But we'll see. We will see what happens, and I think I will leave the credits to continue to roll through, and let them go. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching.